Good morning. So we'll start a second session on diversity in living organisms. So in our yesterday's class, we understood what is diversity in living organism. We understood the term diversity, what is classification, and we are also understood about classification hierarchy, who are the biologists who gave the hierarchy of classification, and finally whose classification we follow. That is, we are following 5 kingdom classification given by Robert Whittaker. So this tabular chart we studied in our previous class, that is organisms, we bifurcate or classify them in terms of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. We all know what are prokaryotes, the most primitive organism which do not have a well-defined nucleus, and eukaryotes which have a well-defined nucleus. Now all prokaryotes are unicellular organisms which has a single cell. Eukaryotes are also unicellular as well as multicellular. Though they are unicellular, but still they fall under eukaryotes. So under prokaryotes which are unicellular, we will be studying about Monera. Monera is the first kingdom classification. Then when we go to eukaryotes, we have unicellular again, where we study about Protista, that is the second kingdom classification. Under eukaryotes, we have multicellular also. Now when we study multicellular organism which have more than one cell to perform all the various activities, so there again we bifurcate in terms of the cell wall. So with cell wall and without cell wall. We have studied in cell and tissues chapter, we have differentiated between a plant cell and animal cell, where we learned that cell wall is absent in animal cell and cell wall is present only in plant cell. So with cell wall, when we study, it is understood that we are studying about the plants, right? So under with cell wall, we again have two bifurcation. Not photosynthetic I have written, that is which do not perform photosynthetic activities, and another one which perform photosynthetic activities. Now which do not perform photosynthetic activity, we study the third kingdom here, that is fungi. Which perform the photosynthetic activity, we perform plantae. So this is the fourth kingdom classification. And finally, the multicellular organisms without cell wall, that is nothing but we study about animals, that is the fifth kingdom and the last kingdom classification, that is Animalia. We will be studying about each of these kingdoms in detail. We will be understanding their body type, their mode of nutrition and examples. So in our today's class, we will be completing or will be studying about Monera, Protista and fungi. Next, we will go with plantae and then Animalia. Let us see the body type, the mode of nutrition and some examples of Monera, Protista and fungi. So, as we discussed in 5 kingdom classification, let us first discuss the first 3 kingdom classification, that is about Monera, Protista and fungi. So, in a kingdom Monera, it is a type of a prokaryotic unicellular organism. We have already discussed what is prokaryotic. Let us now understand about mode of nutrition. So here in this classification, we will understand the type, mode of nutrition, the body type and examples of these classification. So as the type is prokaryotic and unicellular, mode of nutrition is autotrophic or heterotropic. Now what do you mean by autotrophs? Autotrophs are the ones which can prepare their own food. Heterotrophs are the one which will depend on autotrophs or which will depend on others for their food. Now usually when we talk about autotrophs, we always term green plants are autotrophs. Animals are heterotrophs because green plants can prepare their food, wherein animals are directly or indirectly dependent on the green plants for their food. So autotrophic mode of nutrition is where they can prepare their own food. Heterotropic mode of nutrition is where they are dependent on other for their food. Body type lack well-defined nucleus. Why? Because they fall under prokaryotic. So prokaryotic means they do not have well-defined nucleus. Excuse me. That means even the cell organelles are absent in their body. We can say they have very few or they have no cell organelles in their body. Examples: bacteria, blue-green algae. Now when I talk about bacteria, you can also write different forms of bacteria. I have only written bacteria here. You also have other different forms. Here in your syllabus about the kingdom classification, Monera, Protista and fungi, we will be only going in brief about these. We only understand its type, mode of nutrition, body and examples, very few examples. But wherein Plantae and Animalia, we will go in depth and detail. Now, the second classification is Protista, which is a eukaryotic but still unicellular, right? Eukaryotic, we know that it has a well-defined nucleus. So again, mode of nutrition here is also autotrophic or heterotrophic. What is the body type? I have written three different things here: pseudopodia, cilii and flagella. We will understand the meaning of this body type once I tell you the examples of Protista. Okay? Examples of Protista: amoeba, paramecium and euglena. Now we have all read about amoeba in our cell chapter, where we understood amoeba, how is the mode of nutrition done in amoeba or the digestion process carried out in amoeba, right? So amoeba has an uneven body structure. So what happens here? Whenever amoeba's body comes in contact with the food, it will project a finger-like structure. If this is the food, it will project a finger-like structure and capture the food. So amoeba's body, what you say here is the locomotory part. How do they move? That is with the help of pseudopodia. Now pseudopodia helps amoeba to move from one place to another. That is a locomotory organ. So amoeba uses that pseudopodia to just move from one place to another. Pseudopodia is also known as false feet. So that can also trap the food and helps in the locomotory motion of a amoeba. Now paramecium, when we talk about, paramecium has cilii kind of a structure. So suppose if this is a structure of a paramecium, it has a small cilii kind of a structure. You can say a hair kind of a structure. So these hairs, cilii, will help paramecium to locomote, to move. So body type is made up of cilii for locomotion. Body type in amoeba is like pseudopodia, which helps in movement. The last one, euglena. So this is a structure of a euglena. It has a flagella, or we can say it has a flagellum. So this is called as a flagellum or a flagella, what we say, which helps in locomotion. So these are the locomotory organs or locomotory type in these organisms: amoeba, pseudopodia, paramecium, cilii and euglena. It is flagella, which helps the body type is of that order. And these are the examples of Protista. We go on to the last one now, third classification, that is fungi. That also falls under eukaryotic, but it comes under multicellular. Now, what is the mode of nutrition? Mode of nutrition is saprophytic, parasitic, symbiotic. I have written here. We all know what is saprophytic, what is parasitic. That means fungi, these organisms, the kingdom 3 level organisms, always feed on dead and decayed part of the living or whatever is left over. Sometimes parasites, when we saprophytes, when we talk about, these are feeding on the dead and decayed ones. Parasites, when we talk about, they feed on the living or they feed on the host body either internally or externally. They also cause certain diseases to the living organism. If in case they are feeding on the body, they might cause any skin disease or skin allergies. If they are feeding inside the host body, they are weakening the system. So they always feed on the host body. So the mode of nutrition is either saprophytic, that is feeding on the dead and decayed part, or parasitic, living on the host body, or sometimes symbiotic. We will understand what is symbiotic. Now, symbiotic is something having or interrelation between the organisms. Now, for example, if we have to tell here is organisms like you can say, now you can consider fungi only. Now, fungi plus algae, right? Together, what we call it as a lichens, or we can also term that as a lichens sometimes. So, what happens here? Fungi is which will feed on dead and decay. It is saprophytic. Algae is photosynthetic. So these two are interdependent on each other. So that give rises to lichens or lichens, what we say, symbiotic. So these both will help each other in one or the other for the living organisms to survive. That is why they are called as symbiotic. These will help the other organisms. In turn, they will take something from that organism for their survival. So those are called as symbiotic. So, what is the body type? Body type is a long filaments called hyphae. Now, one best example to make you understand this long filaments which are called as hyphae. Have you ever seen a bread mold? Yes, fungus on the bread mold, right? Closely, if you have observed it, suppose just on this. Now, this is a bread mold. What you have? So, you can see a grayish, dark grey color, some long like structures, right? If you observe it very carefully, a very thin, long thread or string like structure, what we see, which also has some pores on them, right? If you have any time observed bread mold in your school, in your lab under microscope, you will clearly get to see this long filament like structures. Long thread-like structures it will be. So that filament, that is the body type of a fungi, right? Examples: yeast, rhizopus, mushroom moulds, etc. So these are the three kingdom classification what we discussed about Monera, Protista and fungi. We understood their type, which some are prokaryotic, unicellular. If they come under eukaryotic, they are also unicellular, they are also multicellular. We understood the mode of nutrition, their body type and examples. Now one thing what we understood here is, now why can't I consider Protista first and then Monera here? Now see, from the primitive organism, from prokaryotic when we move to eukaryotic, we first move to unicellular, then we move to multicellular. Now that means from this organism to this organism, one or the other thing is being added. Now the mode of nutrition is same thing. Here they do not have well-defined nucleus. Wherein here, though it is unicellular, they have nucleus. That means they have nucleus, so their body type is again different. They can move. Locomotory organs are there, right? Pseudopodia for amoeba, cilii for paramecium and flagella for euglena. Now when we go on to the next again, so these are again different types. So as and when we proceed in the classification, one or the other things gets added. So when we go to the highest level of classification, there completes everything, right? That is why we go from the most primitive one, that is Monera, then the second. Now the fourth kingdom classification is Plantae. So again in Plantae we have further classification. So there what classification it could be. So there we see which are photosynthetic, which are not photosynthetic. And again further if you have to check, some are aquatic, some are terrestrial, which is on the land. And some have vascular bundle of tissues, some do not have vascular bundle of tissues. Now what are these vascular bundle of tissues? Xylem and phloem, which are very much important for transporting food and water materials in the plant. That we understand in the Plantae. So about Plantae and Animalia, we will be doing it in our next class. So in today's class, what we have done about 3 kingdom classification out of 5. So if any doubt in this, you can call on the same day of the video set. Thank you.